Get him in any sort of space offensively. Watch out.
And so immediately Utah kicks off short to keep it from Ty Montgomery. Stanford will get good field position. And those terrific ends, Dimmick and Orchard. Here comes a backside blitz, but Hogan delivers. And Michael Rector will have a... And this time it is Barry Sanders on the run. Shifts to the left. And it's Rector, but there's the speed of the Ute. Stanford needs 6. Can McCaffrey get it on the ground? And good drive by McCaffrey that's going to get him forward. Slot now tucks in tight. And they're going to pitch. Let McCaffrey run. He may go. Brian Blackett angles and saves it of his first year in college football. Now sets Stanford up in the red zone. And Wright, who is the leading carrier. So the single back is Wright. Hogan looking. And now he has Lee Ward on the release for the Stanford touchdown.
There's no foul for an illegal man downfield.
Goes 70 yards on its opening kick. Kept the ball away from Montgomery. Clay's going to field this from the 7-yard line. And he tried to angle to the wide side of the edge of the defense. Watching Booker carefully. And Devontae Booker playing for the first time.
Yeah, put it on his shoulders and your offensive line. You got big guys up there. Let them work.
And short throw there. Bowl eligible now. What a nice move out of the backfield. Well, this is what Booker has shown. First possession, they've not allowed a touchdown at all this year on the first possession by the opponent. That's another who just made that play. David Perry got himself healthy after their Oregon game 2 weeks ago. Now Wilson will throw this away. 4 wide receivers, 3 to the right for Travis Wilson. He steps up now. He can do this. And Wilson will dive head first and get the... So off to the first down run. Now Booker, and he got the right side. Nice blocking out there by Booker. Stanford now brings 4 men up to the line, and Booker will run it. All right, a jump.
False start. Offense, number
guy who was a featured back, who's now a role player. And he's throwing his body around.
Bunch to the top of your screen. Here comes a blitz. Screen to Booker, blown up. So special teams work this year. Tom Hackett hits the Aussie punt. Ty Montgomery will let it go, and it's going to be down at the 5-yard line. Drive start at the 5-yard line. And Wright gets the carry. Stanford looking, this is a more traditional look. All lined up, trying to power run with Wright. And that one rushing from the bottom end of the defensive line. It's going to be a gun run. And nice drive again by Ramon Wright to get him. And that's driving out to the 30. Goes.
Have that guy yet. There's nobody in their backfield right now that scares defenses the way those guys did.
And there's a big to do. And Ty Montgomery located to the bottom of your picture. Hogan looking the other way. They're going to throw a deep ball down the far sideline for Rector, and it's broken up. Man coverage. Now the punt by Ben Ryan of Stanford, and Kalen Clay will signal fair catch. So here's
just a knot of things that can happen.
And of course, for the first time this year, as Wilson delivers a big shot to Wesley Todd, a 18-minute drive from here on Friday night against him 2 years ago. Wilson, and somebody watching, but he a nice job on everything but the
somewhere close to the sticks.
Wesley Tonga slot left, going to throw a screen, and this time Stanford there, and it's all right. Utah, Hackett punting, and he hits again the Aussie pump. This one, oh man, and that landed in the end.
Thought Stanford goes to Utah last year and loses, but you have to pay attention to how teams match up.
Blitz. Hogan does get mobile enough, and then advances the ball. And on senior day, they every year give the seniors the My Last Walk shirts. Short carry on 3rd down. Sanders trying to be patient, trying to pick his way, but Utah denies. And this with Clay back. He lets that one go, so Clay's going to have a chance to run. And he gets the initial block. trying to get to the wide side of the field. And Stanford does a pretty nice job.
Cooper is the one building on the resume.
And the next Saturday we will be in the
Years Mariota deserves it.
So Utah having to dig out of a 2nd and 15, and that obviously, and points allowed per game. Stanford #1. And there they trip up Wilson. He can't. Hackett will run and hit that running sideways punt, and that's a dangerous catch. There was a flag down.
Interference against the kicking team.
Beautifully. It's a great place for fans from other schools to come and enjoy the day.
Of course, Cleveland Stanford had a farm here.
Yes. Back in a whole different era. 49. And you don't, as goes to the empty backfield. McCaffrey with the fly motion. Nice haul in by Hooper. So Austin Hooper, but he lost the ball. And that is live. It is Utah. Eric Rowe up with it. Austin Hooper made a terrific, as you said, Hooper left the door open, and Orchard, as good defenders do, takes advantage. Wilson with a short as it's been, has not generated takeaways. Wilson keeps again.
Scrambles, and he takes off.
Stanford only rushes 3, but Wilson stands in and makes the big play down inside the. Now it's inside the Stanford 30. And go to Booker. Can he bounce? No, there's a nice job just to get back to the line of scrimmage. Booker has room. And Booker got the, well,
they went right back to where they were before.
And now going back to a quicker tempo, Wilson keeps and drives last. Bubba Poole's going to get that down to the 8. They need half a yard, maybe 3/4 of a yard, and Wilson will get it. And Wilson will take it down close to the 2. And Wilson keeps it again and takes it. 5 exact plays with Wilson keep. Boy. There's Phillips with a short kick again. Utah keeping it away from Montgomery. So Christian McCaffrey gets a chance. Oh, a nice
holding return team.
But it's opportunities to score.
So now Stanford backed up to their 15. Hogan going to run it and get McCaffrey in space. Well, Christian McCaffrey is
going to open up the run game.
And Hogan this time does go down. So the nation's leading sack team gets their first for Utah's senior end. Time. There was a Michael Rector, the other speed man at the bottom. Screen set up. That's broken up and incomplete. And the Utes should get good position out of this. Kalen Clay from the 35 is going to go right, but this one's coming back. And Clay may take it home. Well, a nice eventual corner.
During the return, holding return team number.
Well, Utah with enough time here to see if they can tack on points before halftime. And Wilson will simply throw that away. Let's get, it's never in doubt.
Never in doubt.
When it comes to the kickers, come on. Wilson taking a shot, and that's caught. It is ruled inbounds. Making sure they get the play off quickly, just in case. Booker.
Stanford, they're challenging the ruling on the field.
Okay.
The field of a catch is confirmed.
They need to settle down.
And that play does timeouts. Can they position themselves to get their first lead? And Booker does a good job. Boy, that play looked like it. Both backs, Booker and Poole on the field for the Utes. Oh, and a fumble. And Utah. It's this one high, right down to the goal line, and caught and downed in the field of play. Good yardage there by
each other after that game.
And Utah spreading their front very wide. McCaffrey. No, it's going to be Hogan on a keep. Well done. And now Hogan going to look to throw one over the middle, and Hooper doesn't catch it. Hogan gets to Montgomery. All right, so that's another Stanford first down. A chance. Not now. And that's the decisive play. Orchard with a sack. A strip by Nate Orchard to create a fumble. Utah took that downfield and scored on a Travis Wilson run. And that's it. So now the second half, 10 of 15.
And a couple of big drops, too, that would have added to that total.
That one was thrown behind. Bubba Poole has played this year for Cal. Being in Berkeley, that could be a pretty competitive one. Booker breaks. Booker sprints, and Booker is brought down by... Booker did not have a standard, by his standards, at least first half. Wilson gets smothered. There's the Stanford. See where Utah now is taken out. And they'll get some yardage back. Booker leaks out of the backfield. And Booker will get close to him. Boy, that Hackett will punt it. Montgomery deep for Stanford. Boy, he catches that ball inside the... As you said.
What are you going to hear? There's too much to lose.
Well, there's a nice game back. Kelsey Young run.
If I go back inside the 10, let it go.
Christian McCaffrey, but there's a...
False start. Offense, number 80.
Don't think anybody would advocate that. McCaffrey getting it strung out and spun down.
But everybody is really afraid of making that first mistake.
Almost a false start there. And a tough throw and almost a spectacular catch. Wow. Cajuste. Are they going to rule that incomplete?
Yeah, it had to be. He didn't complete the process.
McCaffrey will get some... Ooh, McCaffrey gets outside! And Christian McCaffrey gets the first. There's a feeling here that perhaps McCaffrey had to wait his turn. Hogan. Montgomery stripped. Loose. The dive. There were some red shirts on that ball. B. Ward in the game has the fullback in the eye. They're going to flip it on a reverse to McCaffrey. And McCaffrey to the edge will get him. And there's tied up, and that will be a flag. Marcus Wood
back huge at the start of third quarter.
Pass interference. Defense, number 20.
McCaffrey and Ward, the running backs. McCaffrey goes out of the backfield, and he's going to take a straight-on hit. And a gun run on second down, but Utah plugged. Stanford not in field goal range. And Hogan throwing it for Rector, who can't hang on. It reminds us again of retro football, where one mistake could well be the thing. One slip, one mistake on them bit here. Now they're pinned deep. Stanford showing some pressure. Instead, the ball goes outside. They get Clay outside. He gets it to about the 10-yard line, and then his spun carries for 38 for Booker. And again, Utah this time using Booker to block. Wilson trying to run, can't get away. That'll be a Stanford set. Stanford watching Booker, pass intended for and incomplete, but a
pass interference. Defense, number 25.
What they see. That was not as much interference as I thought.
Two-back set for Utah. Poole leads the way, and Booker is able. Now going to swing it to Poole, but that's the play that hasn't worked a ton for. Stanford blitzing Tarpley from the outside. Ball to Booker the other direction. And Booker has the Utah first down. Booker has actually been more effective as a pass catcher today. Utah has a first score. It's going to be significant. Even 3 as Booker is. Wilson steps away. Trying to get away from Anderson, who got him. Henry Anderson had that play, but it does bring up a Utah punt. And running up, Montgomery signaled fair catch, but the hit and the bounce to Utah in the Pac-12 championship. Stanford hosted. And Hogan takes a shot at Motley on third. Hogan here, let's see what he tries on third. He's going to get sacked, has to make sure he protects the ball. And does, but Utah gets him. So Nate Orchard, season for him. Ben Ryan. hits this away. Kalen Clay will try it inside his 40. And another flag, so Kalen Clay for the second.
During the return, there are 2 fouls. Both fouls are against the return team. Illegal block in the back, return team number 27. This penalty is declined. Illegal block in the back, number 10.
First down, Utah drive start from their 32. Wilson.
Identical amount of plays, yards, time of possession. These two teams are putting it on, and it's fun.
Right here, Booker stays in the block, and Wilson misfires, trying to hit McCaffrey and Montgomery. And Ty Montgomery will have to chase that to the far side of the field, and look at that. That is just, I'm sorry, of his own tonight, Anderson. First down from the 10 after a tremendous punt. And Hogan almost connects with Montgomery. Michael Rector to the top for Stanford. And instead they run it to McCaffrey. This time he cannot turn the corner. Michael Rector motioning to the right hash mark. He's going to come inside and catch that little screen, but he doesn't get his footing right.
Positive yards. Just keep your hands clean.
And Clay will let this short punt bounce, and Utah will start in Stanford's side of the field. 10 games last night, 10 men's games on Pac-12 networks. Wilson, and he's clipped again just by the Heat. That's important, a first down loss of yardage. Now Utah tries to run for some of it back, and they don't get much.
The mind never stops.
And Wilson is stopped, and Stanford. Hackett will once again try to hit another sparkling punt across the field. Look at this skip. I tell you something, it's something to watch. From the 6. And right ahead, that's a good push to get 9 yards on the first down run. They're going right that way again. And a drop ball. A fumble by Stanford. Did they recover? Utah with 8 defenders up in the defensive box, and this time they do stop 8. Stanford at least has moved out from its own end zone shadow. Hogan's going to run. Hogan's going to get yardage. Did not lie to the left. Fake to Lee Ward. Pass is juggled and held for the first down. Wright is able to hold it. And then it has moved this ball from its own 6-yard line now to the 36 and out across the 40. Goes Kelsey Minutes. And Montgomery will try to get outside. And he does get just enough. From the Stanford 47, again it is Montgomery. And he bounces off a hit and takes it into Utah territory. Taking the play clock to the end. And Hogan comes out with a very good tackle. Everybody bunched. And the run will get it. They jam straight ahead.
Play resulted in a first down. After the play, personal foul. Offense, number 21.
Montgomery. And there's the play. The first time winning the game on this possession.
Dream come true for offensive line.
Montgomery, there's a flag. So Montgomery,
number 36, 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Big gain on first down. That's a good Stanford gain by Kelsey.
The
13th play of the Stanford drive. Hogan goes big, just off the hands of Wright, the running back. And they're going to shovel it to him. And McCaffrey will get, but not, well, a good punt here by Ryan to think they can get the ball back. And Ryan angles that to the far sideline, and he'll do a nice job. That will die. Did not score. And here is where Stanford has won. Second down. Completed pass, short gain. 7. What will they run? Knowing the clock cannot stop, they'll run Booker, and he gets close. And Hackett hits it to the far side. Montgomery's going to fair catch it at the. Pressure coming. Hogan comes into Rector. Rector trying to get to the sideline. Can't. And it's inbounds and it's scrambling to spike it. And they do. Hogan going to Rector. Down the far side. And it's just broken up. Rector almost had.
That's going to haunt the dreams of Rector. The ball is there. It's within his grasp. And a nice job. Eric Roach stripping it with that left hand.
And he just hits one high and short with a good bounce. So that will get this game to overtime. It's fans and banders sitting. And Wilson goes to the end zone. He's got it. How about that? Kalen Clay fitting. And they get a good start as from the 14 on first down. Wright again. Although Wright did have one. Hogan throwing back across the field. Has got Hooper for the Stanford touchdown. Single back is right, and Hogan's going to get hammered. Nate Orchard came in, and Hogan is dropped back at the memory to the very far right. Hogan looking left, going down for Kajus, overthrows him. Is it intercepted? It's going to be ruled as an interception. No, out of bounds. It is ruled out of bounds. Just saw the replay again. He's convinced. Now third down. Hogan comes in, and this one is stuffed by Utah. On some of these. From 51. It's on the way, and it is good. Booker can't get outside. He was trapped overtime. Wilson keeps and gets 3, so now on third down. Stanford brings 4. Wilson throws the middle, and he has got a first down. Wesley. It's Wilson on the keep, and Wilson drives it down, and you see Stanford, they're not tackling. Booker is pushed out of bounds. Booker to the left of Wilson. Slam. Utah wins. Travis Wilson to Kenneth Scott, and Utah wins in overtime.